Hey everyone, it's Miss Collins. I miss everyone terribly, but while we are stuck at home, at least it is pretty today. If you all hear my kids outside playing, we're just going to ignore them right now. They're enjoying the sunshine as well. Um, like I said, I miss everyone. Hopefully, this will soon pass and we all can be together again. But until then, I wanted to read a story, Iggy Peck, Architect by Andrea Beaty, illustrated by David Roberts. This is part of the questioner series, and I'm going to read the rest of the series as well. So stay tuned for those. Young Iggy Peck is an architect and has been since he was 2, when he built a great tower in only 1 hour with nothing but diapers and glue. Good gracious, Ignatius, his mother exclaimed. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. But her smile faded fast as the light wind blew past, and she realized those diapers weren't clean. Ignatius, my son, what on earth have you done? That's disgusting and nasty. It stinks. Do you think a tower full of dirty diapers would smell? I believe it would have a very foul odor. But Iggy was gone. He was out on the lawn using dirt clods to build a great sphinx. When Iggy was 3, his parents could see his unusual passion would stay. He built churches and chapels from peaches and apples and temples from modeling clay. Modeling clay is kind of like Play-Doh. At dinner one night, to his father's delight, Iggy got a bright gleam in his eye, and out on the porch built the St. Louis Arch from pancakes and coconut pie. Dear Ig had it made until 2nd grade, when his teacher was Miss Lila Greer. On the very first day, she had this to say. We do not talk of buildings in here, Gothic or Romanesque. I couldn't care less about buildings, ancient or new. She said in her lecture about architecture that it had no place in grade 2. That might seem severe, but she was sincere, for when she was no more than 7, she had a great fright at a dizzying height in a building so tall it scraped heaven. On an architect's tour of the 95th floor, young Lila got lost from the group. How do you think that she is feeling right now? Do you see her facial expressions? How would you feel if you got lost from your group or lost from your mom, even at the grocery store? She was found 2 days later in a stuck elevator, eating cheese with a French circus troupe. After that day, it's quite safe to say she thought all building lovers were nuts. As a teacher, she thought that above all, one ought to avoid them. No ifs, ands, or buts. As you might guess, it would cause Iggy stress to hear such terrible talk. But he didn't hear. He sat in the rear while building a castle of chalk. Look at that castle. You, Iggy Peck, your desk is a wreck. Tear down that castle right now. You will not build in here. Is that perfectly clear? Do you need to see Principal Howe? Do you think you could build a castle like that of chalk? No, ma'am, Iggy said. He lowered his head and his heart sank to the floor. With no chance to build, his interest was killed. Now 2nd grade was a bore. After 12 long days that passed in a haze of reading, writing, and arithmetic. Do you know what arithmetic is? We have reading, writing. What else do we have? Math. Miss Greer took the class to Blue River Pass for a hike and an old-fashioned picnic. They crossed an old trestle to a small island nestle in the heart of a burbling stream. But they no sooner passed than the footbridge collapsed and Miss Lila Greer started to scream. We're trapped here, oh my, alas, kids, goodbye. Her eyes rolled back into her head. She dropped to the ground with a vague groaning sound, luckily fainting, not dead. The class was amazed. They stood there quite dazed, uncertain of what they should do. But one bright young man was off hatching a plan, which started with Miss Lila's shoe. What do you think they're coming up with? What do you think their plan is? Soon, each lad and lass there at Blue River Pass was working together as one. Do you see how they are working together as a group? They all know the role. They're not arguing or fussing over which one should do what. This is an example of good group collaboration. And when she came to, Miss Lila Greer knew that something quite brave had been done. She looked in the air and saw hanging there a structure with cables and braces, and on the far side, beaming with pride, were 17 smiling young faces. Boots, tree roots and strings, fruit roll-ups and things, some of which one should not mention. Do you all see something that I shouldn't be mentioning? Were stretched ridge to ridge in a glorious bridge, dangling from shoestring suspension. It all became clear to Miss Lila Greer as she crossed that bridge over the stream. There were worse things to do when you're in grade 2 than to spend your time building a dream. Does anyone know what bridge this is? It's a very, very well-known bridge. Now, every week at Blue River Creek Elementary in 2nd grade, all the school kids can hear, along with Miss Greer, how the world's greatest buildings were made. The weekly guest speaker in t-shirt and sneakers talks of buildings from Rome to Quebec. Of course, he's the guy who built towers from pie, that brilliant young man, Iggy Peck. What did you all think of this book? Hopefully, we're going to be able to put this on the YouTube channel, and you all can comment what you think below.